You've come here with a question that goes deeper than simple psychology. When you ask why the empath's intuition pierces through the narcissist's illusion faster than words ever could, you're asking about something profound, the clash between two fundamental forces that exist in all human relationships. This isn't just about two personality types meeting. This is about the ancient drama of the mask, meeting the one who sees through masks. The hunger to dominate meeting, the gift to perceive truth. When we talk about the narcissist, we need to strip away the surface-level understanding. It's not just vanity or being obsessed with their own reflection. The true nature of narcissism is much more wounded and sinister. Behind that mask of grandiosity lies a shattered inner child, a part of themselves that couldn't handle reality without creating a costume strong enough to keep the world at bay. The narcissist doesn't just want admiration. They have to devour it to avoid collapsing into inner emptiness. This hunger comes from a wound so deep they can't even name it without terror. Understanding the empath's gift. Now consider the empath. Empaths aren't saints, and empathy isn't some magical superpower. Empathy often comes from wounds too. The empath's ability to tune into others usually developed because survival once depended on reading the room before it erupted. To feel another person's energy isn't a luxury for the empath, it's a condition of existence. And from this comes the gift of intuition. Not some vague, mystical sense, but direct communication from the unconscious mind, FPAC, pattern recognition that bypasses rational thought. Here's the paradox. The narcissist constructs elaborate illusions, while the empath senses reality underneath. When these two meet, the narcissist deploys words, charm, and carefully crafted masks designed to seduce the conscious mind. But the empath is listening beneath the words. The empath picks up on the trembling in the shadow, the subtle disconnect between the mask and the energy leaking through the cracks. Words can deceive, but energy betrays itself. And empaths, though they often doubt their own perceptions, can't be fully blinded by the narcissist's illusion because their body feels the truth before their mind can rationalize it away. The battle of archetypes. In dreams, this drama often appears like a masquerade ball. Picture a ballroom full of dancers wearing elaborate masks. The narcissist dances in the center, spinning illusions of beauty and perfection. But in the corner stands one figure who doesn't look at the mask, but at the eyes behind it, who doesn't hear the orchestra, but the heartbeat that falters beneath the rhythm. This is the empath, and they know, without needing proof, that the dancer's mask doesn't fit the soul it's trying to conceal. The empath intuits the crack between mask and being. Once this intuition surfaces, the entire illusion begins to unravel. Words are tools of consciousness, but intuition is the voice of the unconscious. The narcissist manipulates words brilliantly. Words can be crafted into spells, contracts, seductions. But the empath's intuition operates from a deeper order, where words haven't been born yet, where truth vibrates like an underground drum. This is why the empath unravels the narcissist faster than words could. The battle isn't fought in the realm of conscious thought, but in the underworld of archetypal forces. Why intuition works faster. Every narcissist carries the archetype of the trickster. They deceive not just to harm, but because deception is their survival mechanism. Every empath carries the archetype of the seer. They gaze into shadows and know what others cannot see. When the trickster meets the seer, no matter how dazzling the trickster's words, the seer's intuition cuts through. But why does this happen faster than words? Because words are bound by time. To process words, you have to wait, interpret, think. But intuition operates outside of time, in the realm of instant recognition. A single glance, a subtle gesture, one incongruent tone is enough to shatter the veil. The empath doesn't need to hear the full speech. They feel the hidden tremor in the very first syllable. It's as if the unconscious has already drawn the map, while the conscious mind is still gathering clues. The empath's dilemma. But let's not romanticize this. Though the empath perceives the truth, they're often still ensnared. Knowledge doesn't always lead to freedom. Many empaths remain bound to narcissists despite their intuition. Why? Because intuition is often silenced by doubt, by learned habits of gaslighting themselves, by fear of seeing what they wish weren't true. The empath may sense the illusion unraveling, but their mind resists, clinging to hope that the mask is real, that love is genuine. This is the tragedy. The empath sees yet denies, knows yet suppresses, and in this denial, the narcissist thrives. In the collective unconscious, the narcissist represents the false king, sitting on a throne of mirrors, commanding obedience through illusion. The empath is the dream bearer who carries a connection to truth that words can't contain. The false king can rule many who live at the level of appearances. But before the dream bearer, his throne begins to crack. The dream bearer doesn't obey masks. They respond to the hidden song of the psyche, the deeper truth. You might wonder, if the empath already senses the falseness, why do so many remain entangled for years, sometimes lifetimes? This is the paradox we must face. Intuition unravels the mask swiftly, but the heart, the longing for connection, the ancient wound of abandonment, MSLs, binds the empath still. Intuition is like lightning. It illuminates everything in an instant, but it can't force the traveler to change direction. Many empaths see the illusion crumble yet cling to it, because releasing it would mean standing alone in the cold vastness of truth. The narcissist beckons them to stay, painting the collapsing bridge with golden words, promising safety where none exists. This is why the narcissist fears the empath more than others. Most people live in the realm of appearances. They hear words and take them at face value. But the empath's intuition is like the child in the fairy tale who sees that the emperor has no clothes. They don't need evidence or debate. They simply see the truth. Once this perception exists, even if carried silently, the spell weakens. The narcissist may rage and deny, but deep down, they know they can't control someone who already sees through them. The sacred gift. The empath's intuition isn't just psychological, it's mystical. To feel what another hides is participation in the collective unconscious itself. When an empath senses the dissonance in a narcissist's mask, they're not just analyzing micro-expressions, they're resonating with the archetypal field where deception meets truth. This gift is both dangerous and holy. It unravels illusions swiftly, but it exposes the bearer to truths too heavy to carry. Many empaths suffer not because they can't see, but because they can't not see. Yet this burden has purpose. In every age, there must be those who see, who feel, who carry intuition as a torch. Without them, humanity would drown in its own illusions. The empath doesn't unravel the narcissist's illusion through argument or force, but simply by existing in a state of seeing. And though this may isolate them, though the world often prefers its illusions, this gift keeps humanity tethered to truth. Words belong to the mask, but intuition belongs to the soul. Words persuade, but intuition knows. Words can be deceived, but intuition cannot. The empath carries the ancient gift of sight, the inner eye that sees through the veil. Trust what you feel, even when words try to convince you otherwise. Your intuition is the whisper of your deeper self, and no mask, however dazzling, can withstand that voice forever. The empath's path may be lonely, but it's sacred. To see through illusion is to live in truth, and that truth will always guide you home. If this resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might be experiencing similar challenges. Join our growing community of thoughtful individuals exploring psychology, consciousness, and personal growth by subscribing to ThinkDeep and enabling notifications. Remember, where you are right now isn't your final chapter. It's the starting point for becoming who you're truly meant to be.